Hello everybody and welcome to another endgame lesson, and today we're going to look at another very important rook endgame, and once again it's about the Philidor position, but this time we will see that black is not quite able to achieve it. So we have this position on the board quite similar to what we saw in the last lesson, and here with black to move it would be simple. We know this already if you've seen the video, rook a6 to stop king g6 from happening. But now we want to see what happens if white is to move, because sometimes we might not get into it and then we can still hold a draw, but we need to be a little bit more precise. Okay, so also we want to know how we can pose problems if we're playing with the white pieces, right? So that's also good to know. Here king g6 is the best try for white. If white plays king f6, now we can actually just play rook a6, the king has to go back again and we are in the Philidor position, easy draw. So king g6 is the try, and now you can either go rook g1 or rook f1, but it should be one of those moves. Remember, going passive here with rook a8, that doesn't work, white wins. So rook g1 or rook f1, but I would just say put the rook on f1. And here once again, as I also explained in the last lessons, it's important to keep in mind, what does white want? What is his threat? If we play another move, let's say rook c1, then we see his threat. He wants to go check, 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 and now he goes f7, protects the rook, and he will queen sooner or later. We can give some more checks, but it doesn't matter. White wins. So this is what we need to stop. So this is why we go rook f1, because now if check, we go king e7 and white cannot push f6 because the rook is covering it. Actually here white can just not make any progress at all. He doesn't even have a try available. Besides maybe, no, not rook b5 is also not a good try. Black just goes rook g1, king has to go to e8 and king f6, and it's an easy draw. So this doesn't help white. The best try for him is to go king f6. Now there's a checkmate for it. And here the important question is, to which side to go? One is a draw and one loses. So this is important to know. And here's the rule. Always go to the short side of the board. And what do I mean by that? Well, king g8 is the short side, right? From here you only have two squares. And king e8 is the long side. There are a lot more squares over here. So maybe you can remember it this way. And we'll see in a moment why that is. Why is this so important? So actually, let's see for a moment why king e8 loses. White goes check. We also want to see the technique how white wins these positions, right? Check, king d7. And now this is the important move. White goes rook f8. Why rook f8? So the king can come forward. The king can come forward and then the pawn can be advanced. And here, black cannot do anything. He pretty much has to watch until white will push his pawn all the way to f7 and reach the Lucchina position, which I'll explain in the next lesson. But the win from there is not too hard. So now we want to focus on how black can draw. You might ask, what's the difference if I go to g8? Now white just does the same thing, right? Plays rook f8 here, and this does the same thing. Well, here's the difference. Now that our king is on the short side, we can play rook to a1 and then border the white king with checks from the side. And this wasn't possible on the other side. There was not enough space. We have to go over here so we have enough space to just constantly give checks. And once again, we want to ask ourselves, what is the threat of my opponent? How can I stop it? White wants to go king e7 or king e6, and then we need to be ready to give checks from the side, because if we play a move like rook f2, king e6, now after rook e2 the king already comes to f7, so this would be worse. In fact, I believe this is still a draw, but why have it difficult when we can have it easy? And I will get to this position when the pawn is already in the 6th rank in a later video as well. We'll also deal with this, but this is then quite tricky, and we don't need to let it get to that. We can make a simple draw here by going rook a1, because white cannot do anything here. Like I said, if he plays king e7, then the checks will just come and come and come, and White has to run away with his king and there's nothing to do. So What else can white try actually in this position? Well, he can go rook e8, you might say, right? So after check, he can cover with rook e6. And here, once again, we go back to f1. Why? Because now white can make progress. Once again, if he plays king e6, then we come back with the king once more, king g7. And we cover f6, he cannot come forward. If he plays rook e7 check, we come to f8, and we're pretty much almost in the position we started at. So this doesn't help. So rook f1 back is the important move here. And if he goes rook e5 now to start king f7, then once again we stop that, we go king g8. King g8, let's say king e7, now threatening to push f6, and now we can go king g7, stopping this once more. King e6, let's say, to free the rook, but now we can either go to f8 immediately, or we can also play rook a1 first, because white doesn't have a useful move here anyway, and if he goes f6, then we go king f8, we have the king in front, we have the rook perfectly placed to give checks from both sides, but really we only need to give checks from behind anyway, so this is a draw. Alright, so the most important lesson I want you to take away here is that in this position, and also it's the same story with the king on e6 and king on e8, is that you run towards the short side of the board. Okay? This is the important lesson to remember, so that you can give checks from the other side and you have enough distance between your rook and the opponent's king. Alright, got it? If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.